Hello, everybody. My name is Edward S. Redcar, and I'm the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. And today I have the awesome pleasure of speaking with a really good friend of mine. Really good friend of mine, Michael Blizzard. I've worked with him in the past in the Incarn Virtual Live Theater during COVID, and everything was shut down. So since then, we've become really good friends. We've never met each other. And in fact,
Mhm.
before we started recording here, we'd say we got to meet up sometime. And I mean, absolutely, because a lot of my guests I've never met, only met them virtually. And so
Mhm.
eventually our paths physically cross and we meet somewhere down the road. So I've got to say that Michael, he is an actor, he is a writer. He's a musician, composes music. He's a voice-over artist. Has his own radio show once a week on Saturdays, which we'll get more into. Is in the works of starting a podcast that's in the
Right.
works, and he is also a medical doctor to boot to top everything off. So it's like my hat is off to you. I'm not worthy. I'm not.
That's funny.
With all of that going on, you still find time for your medical studies, and I,
Yes.
I, I really commend and admire you for that, Michael. That's
Thank you.
absolutely wonderful, which we'll get more into in our interview with Michael today. So, Michael, officially, I'm welcoming you to the show. So tell me, how are you today, Michael?
Well, thank you, Ed, my brother. Thank you, and thank you for your audience coming on this evening. Before the show, ladies and gentlemen, I was telling Ed that I didn't know the dress code. Ed got a tie on. I felt so bad that, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a suit on, my bow tie, my signature bow tie, because I want to sort of fit within you, Ed. But I just want to let the
It's
audience know
perfectly okay. It's perfectly
that
okay. It
I'm
doesn't,
out of.
it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Dress code. The dress code is whatever you feel comfortable with. That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's that's the desk dress code. You look absolutely fine. I mean, I do not think that you could have picked a better wardrobe for today. I mean,
Hey,
you got the top going on, and
yeah, yeah,
you got your accessories around the neck. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if I wore the accessories around my neck, it wouldn't go. I mean, I'm not the accessory sort of kind of
Yeah,
guy. It's
yeah,
like I'm more like the
no,
suit and tie,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah,
the old fashioned guy. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
man, you're up to date. I mean, you're fly. I mean,
yeah.
jazzy and up to date and the trendy and everything. So I mean that fits you perfectly.
Well,
Honest,
thank you. Well, thank
honest to
you.
gosh, that fits you perfectly. So yeah, so we're going to learn all about. Well, we're going to try to learn a lot about Michael today. We're
Right.
going to try to learn all things Michael in
Mm,
the time that we have with him today. So, Michael, what I usually do, my first question to all of
mm,
my guests is that I like to know how they became involved in what they do today, whether it's maybe a few things or whether it's a lot of things like you are. So
mm.
let me start this interview with the first question. So, um, how did you become interested in acting and writing and
Mhm,
uh,
mhm.
and making music? And then
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
kind of follow that up with some other related questions. So, first of all, how did you become interested in all of that and voiceover
yeah, yeah.
besides?
Well, for me, I've been writing all my life, and so I was writing as a kid all types of genres. I didn't know what they were at that particular time, but I just was writing either. I remember or a play that I wrote was called Camilla. This was like AD 700. This was a sort of an all woman's planet, and but that was
Wow.
12 or 13. I still remember that. And then I got into poetry, and then I started writing plays, and but writing has, in a sense, as I tell people, that writing saved my life, right?
Okay.
Because writing is therapeutic, right? Because I'm typically an introvert, right? I'm kind of shy. I don't really express my emotions too well. And writing was a safe space for me to share how I was feeling, share
Okay.
some of the sort of things that I was going through at that particular time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I owe it all to writing that got me where I'm at today. And so I look back now where I'm at today now, I have to always pay homage to the foundation of the joy and the benefit of writing. I still, believe it or not, I still love love letters, right? You know, because again, that the love letters are so important. It
Right.
shows that you put some thought in behind the words that you're saying to your spouse or
Mm-hmm.
to your
Mm-hmm.
significant other. We don't do that anymore. But for me, some people may say it's old-fashioned, out of style. They may say it's corny, but I still believe in those things, right? Because that's
Yeah.
just the beauty of writing.
Yeah, no, I mean, not at all. I mean, everything today is so fast, and the texting and
Right,
DMing and all that stuff that,
right.
yeah, really. I mean, writing to me, the way that I see it, it's a lost art, right? The art of writing, expressing your feelings, like you were saying, like to a significant other, or
Mhm.
whatever.
Right, right. Because that is what's missing today. And
Mm-hmm.
that's missing in, unfortunately, our education system as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, they took away penmanship. So what's next? They're gonna take away the pencils as well, too. So,
Right, right,
but
right,
I'm just, but this
right.
is, you know, technology is good, but when you take away the core foundation, the writing behind it, then you lose something, and that's what's
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
today.
yeah.
And
I I I know back in the day, like a million years ago when I first went to elementary school, um, they taught what was known as cursive writing. And let's see, I think I noticed that Michael's video is frozen. Michael, can you hear me, Michael?
therefore, again, we need to have another outlet for people, either they're dealing with depression, or loneliness, or mental health
Okay.
issues, or a broken relationship.
Okay, this is this is one of those instances that I was telling you beforehand, where when we press record, we don't stop until we go to the stop. You disappeared completely off the screen. I completely
Yes.
lost Zoom for a while. I couldn't hear you. And it seems now we have a third guest that is called Samsung SMA146U.
Mhm.
Could that be maybe your smartphone?
No,
I see an
no, no.
extra, I see another extra guest here. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Mhm.
Okay. Whoever Samsung is, he's they're
Hey,
disappeared from the meeting.
hey.
So it's just you and I here.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, before we were rudely interrupted by technology,
There it is.
which we were
See.
talking
You
about,
see
right?
that? You see that?
That
You see that?
technology kind of interferes
Hmm.
these days. Before we were
Right.
so rudely interrupted by this technology,
Right.
I don't know if you heard my response to what we were talking about, the lost art of writing, but I
Right.
started to get into that a million years ago when I was in elementary school. They taught what was called cursive writing.
Hmm.
And it's like all the students would be given sheets of paper and they were all lined.
Hmm.
And you had to practice like your capital letters, your small letters, and like in between the lines, there would be like dotted lines. So those were the lines that you could not go over with your pencil if you wanted to write like small letters,
Right,
capital letters, you used both upper and lower lines. And so,
right.
yeah, it was drummed into us, cursive
Hmm.
writing,
Hmm.
and actually we had to submit that. Like sometimes they would have competitions, and
Yes.
right between schools or whatever.
Yes.
Who's the best writer?
Right,
Who's
right,
got the
right.
best cue,
Yeah,
that the curly
yeah,
QQ and
yeah,
all that stuff. But
yeah.
no, no, go ahead. What you were talking about, the lost writing. That I totally agree.
Yeah, and so therefore we see that that lost art is actually a lost art, but those like you and I who retain that art, let us continue to retain that art because it's just something that keeps us who we are, true to who we are.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, not, I mean, not only in math or in English or writing, but in math and all the different other uh, disciplines, if you want to call it,
Hmm.
that they
Hmm.
teach in
Hmm.
school today.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
I know you were talking about writing, and in the time that I was involved in the Incarn,
Hmm.
a live virtual theater, when it was online every Sunday,
Yes.
5
Yeah.
p.m., just
Yeah.
like clockwork.
Yeah.
And I remember back then that uh, talking about writing, you wrote some plays for Incarn, right? Am I
That is
correct?
correct. That is
Yeah,
correct. That
yeah.
is correct. That is
And they were
correct.
even
Wow.
and they were even produced on air, right? Like in
That is correct. You're right. At the
yeah,
church,
yeah.
at the
So
church. Yeah.
that blew me away. I says, man, I
Yeah.
says this guy's got a great VO voice. He's a great actor. It's like, what else can he do? Oh my God! Now he writes, and it's like, and the writing is in the actual productions of the Incarn theaters. So,
Yes, yes.
uh, I mean, tell us about that. What was the um, impetus or motivation that sparked and said, I'd like to write a play for Incarn?
Well, acting was something that came out of again for writing as well to voiceover. And when I was doing acting, I asked Reverend Kenya. He was working in collaboration with the stage director Michelle Hawkins Jones.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That could I write a play? I know I write. So Reverend Kenya gave me the opportunity to write, and the rest was history because I even thank him today. Actually, I'm going to interview Reverend Kenya Cagle Productions, but I'm going to do an interview on him on my radio show just to continue to say thank you for believing in me and for giving me the opportunity to be able to write a play and several plays to be produced on Incarn. And to top it all off, I actually starred in one of the plays that I wrote. Can you believe that? That was at oh my adios meals. I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe that. Remember, I'm a science guy, right? I'm
Yes.
science.
Oh,
I'm a science guy.
I'd
I'm
call you
science.
more than a science guy. I mean,
No,
studying to be a doctor. I mean,
is it?
that's a
I,
level above science to me. I mean,
no.
that's another. I would say that's another level of science. So no, go ahead.
When I discovered that we could be good at multiple things. You don't have to sort of be locked into one particular job or genre that you do.
No,
You
no.
you can be you can be a plumber and also play the bongos, or you can be a nurse and play the violin, right? Or
Exactly.
you can be a bus driver and play the piano, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned and discovered. I mean, and then to take it to the point where it's that one of my plays, The Legacy of Bridget Biddy Mason, about this black slave who becomes a philanthropist prior to
Mm-hmm.
her death. Um, wow, right? That was produced live at the church in Queens. And for me to see that, to be there, to experience that emotions in that play, and then knowing, I wrote it. I mean, like, well, how much more better can it get? right? I didn't even know what to do, what to say, other than with my emotions sort of welling up inside me, because that's just that humbleness in me. I didn't
Hmm.
expect that. I
Hmm.
don't write for the fanfare. I write for the beauty and the creativity of the
Yes.
art.
Yes. Yeah, you're right because you enjoy it, just like
Yes.
all of us, like whether it's writing or acting, it's like you do it because you love it and because you just enjoy the journey, right? No matter if it's
Yes.
writing or acting
Right,
or what
right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a journey, and along that journey, you run into people such as yourself, right? Knowing that from the day we had our first rehearsal, it was magic because here it is, you're established, I'm coming in brand new, and I remember how so helpful you were, not to me, but to all of us who needed more help, guidance, directions, and
Thank you.
you set the tone for all of us because you always look for somebody who's going to set the tone. You came to the rehearsals prepared, ready to go, and I appreciate that,
Well,
right?
thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
and I see that trait still lives within you, and that's a marvelous thing because again, let us not lose that, and you have that, and I was still like at that particular time, looking for someone that I could sort of look up to at that particular time. Because remember, I was very brand new into acting. I didn't
Hmm.
have any
Hmm.
skills yet. I mean, I went to this place called ATC Studios. It's in Clifton, New Jersey, and I highly
Hmm.
recommend
Hmm.
everyone. That's ATC Studios in Clifton, New Jersey.
Hmm.
So I went there. Um, did intro to acting, some other acting courses, and I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. Right, doing the improv, falling on the ground, falling on the floor,
Yeah,
working with
yeah, yeah,
somebody. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It was
So,
absolutely
so you
fantastic.
were, like they say, you were bitten by the acting bug, right?
I was bitten. I was hit over the head with it. You know.
Well, I'll tell you, I was bit by the acting bug at the age of 13. It was like a
Ooh,
middle
okay.
school production, a skit, maybe 5 minutes long. And it's like, hey, it's like, I really like this stuff, and it's like
Right,
you
right.
can get a reaction out of people. So I was bit with the acting bug, with the acting illness, and I
Hmm.
have never recovered. So
Okay, okay.
I'm still sick with the acting bug, and I love every
Hmm.
day of it.
Yeah, yeah. It does something to you, right?
Right? Oh, actually,
Yeah,
oh, absolutely, and
you know.
it's like yeah, it's like you cannot wait until you get to do it again.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again and
yeah.
again and
And
again and
again, and then, for me, growing up, watching actors like Sidney Poitier and Al
oh,
Pacino,
yes.
Denzel Washington, John
Oh, oh,
Amos,
yes.
Lou Gossett Jr., and other actors, right? That
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
and and that was a role model for me, like to sort of be able to step into their character and be that
Mm-hmm.
character who they're playing. It actually makes you see. I think that those actors who we remember them like John Amos, we know already know him from Good Times, right? We know him from that because he played that role to a T, right? And
Right, right,
Denzel
right.
Washington, you know about the Malcolm X, you know about his other movies, right? You can associate him with that because they're just great. Al Pacino, you know that these are great actors.
Yes, yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Al Pacino because there's a story about Al Pacino and Sir Laurence Olivier. I don't know if you ever
Hmm.
heard of it.
Yes.
About that Al Pacino was getting into this. He's like a real method actor, and he wants to
Hmm.
get into it, and he wants to feel it, and wants to
Hmm.
feel what it's like in the environment. And so, for those of our audience that might not be familiar with this story, it's like Sir Laurence Olivier said, in so many words,
Hmm.
well, geez, instead of going through all that, he says, why don't you just act?
Right,
And
right,
I got
right.
such a kick out of that when I think of Sir Laurence Olivier, it's like to me, I always thought, oh, it's like method acting to the
Hmm.
10th power,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when somebody like that, so good, says, "Why don't you just act?" It's like that completely blew me away right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely blew me away. And
Well, because I think that some people see it way before I didn't see it. I didn't see it in, but somebody saw that in me. And I just took it and ran with it, which acting led to doing voiceovers, right?
yes,
Right.
yes, yeah.
And that whole paradigm was, again, as a result of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
because as we
Mm-hmm.
talked about, a lot of things were closing down, a lot of the patients at the office, we were losing them. So many things that were happening.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said that for me, I want to use my voice as a way of sort of building a business. How do you start a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you use my voice, the
Mm-hmm.
signature voice, as a brand?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I took some voiceover acting classes with Shelley Shanoy. That was back in 2022. And
Okay.
um, so at that particular time, it was more the fundamentals of voiceover, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So about the breathing, the inflections,
Yes, yes, yes.
and getting into character. And at that particular time, I didn't know Ed about in terms of sort of like the genres that I would like to go into because
Mm-hmm.
again, I was just, we were doing commercials, 30 seconds, quick, quick, quick. But for me, I didn't know all of the genres, right? And then once I started learning about the genres, like, wait a minute, medical narration, Discovery Channel, Nat Geo Wild, what?
There
I
you
mean,
go.
come on. I fell in love, right?
Right? It's like
So
the world opens up right in front of you. You've got all
yeah.
these opportunities, right?
And, and
Sure.
and and I didn't even know that, right? Because again, on one side I was sort of, stuck on, not stuck, but I was in that research area, with the patients in the
Mm-hmm.
office.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
COVID opened the door to something that is a part of me as well too. It's sort of that yin and that yang, and and
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and 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 they're both balancing each other out,
I
which
was
makes
just going to
me
say, I was just going to say that you find that delicate balance among all different things that you like to do, right?
right,
Not too
right,
much of one, not too much another, but it all evens out. It balances out, and
right.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's therapeutic, right?
Oh, it
So to
is.
do recording, I can record all day. I love recording. You want to use my voice, monetize on my voice? What?
Well, sure.
Have
Why
at it.
not? You know?
Because Ed, what you hear and what your audience hear, I'm with it every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I didn't know actually what I had. At one time,
Right.
I didn't even like the way I sounded.
Really? Gee,
Yes, sir.
wow, that's interesting. Like I says, you got such a deep and smooth voice, VO voice, you know? It's like
Hmm.
I can't imagine having like a better voice. I mean,
Hmm.
that's um yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I most people would give anything to have like like a smooth, deep baritone voice
Hmm.
like you have that's
Yeah.
nice and smooth and
Hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah, but I didn't know what I had,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
again, I wasn't I didn't realize nor was I marketing myself in that
Uh-huh.
way because I was more centered on patient care,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Well, you know, you were saying about like voiceover and radio and everything. Years
hmm.
ago, I was on a couple of different college radio stations. One radio station I was on there like for all my 4 years.
Hmm.
My background is actually in construction, so I have a 4 year degree in construction management, and I
Hmm.
kind of balance that with my love of like acting and radio.
Hmm.
Strangely enough, all 4 years I didn't get involved in the theater program, but I fell in love with radio, the college radio
Mm-hmm.
station,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed that. And I didn't know it, but years in the future, I would be able to use that experience in VO. And it's like when I
Right.
first started auditioning for VO or acting, I saw that there were,
Mm-hmm.
VO jobs
Mm-hmm.
available. And it's like, now wait a minute, years and years ago, I was in radio and I mean, that's VO, voiceover.
Yes,
It's
it
like
is.
you got the mic in front of you, you're
Mm-hmm.
speaking to a wall, even though people out there are listening to you. But it's like it's the same thing with VO. You got a
Right.
mic in front of you. This time you've got a script, and it's basically the same thing. It's like radio with a script. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
like radio, if you do PSAs, commercials,
Right.
or whatever, you're reading from copy and that. But yeah, my radio days really helped me a lot get into VO and like you
Mm-hmm.
were saying, the breathing and everything like that.
Right.
So um yeah, that
Yeah.
became like another passion of mine besides
Right.
acting, voiceover acting. So yeah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
yeah.
that's a good segue into how did I land up in broadcasting, radio?
Yes, yeah, you have a
Good.
program once a week, and you
Yes,
have
yes.
a myriad of topics, and it's like um, I was just wondering, you have so many different topics that you cover. Each topic is different from week to week.
That's right.
Sometimes you have a continuation of a topic
Yeah,
a second week
yeah,
if you can't, if there's so many interesting things to cover about it in one
right,
week, you make like part two the next week. So
right.
how do you decide, like from week to week, what your topic is going to be on your radio show?
Oh, Ed, man, I love it. 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 Actually, to be frank with you, I really don't know how I got into broadcasting. I stumbled into it. A friend of mine who's an actor said, "Hey, Michael," because he says, "Well, you have a golden voice," and he says, "Michael, there's a radio station called NewNewRadio.com, and they're looking for hosts. Why don't you try out, audition for it?" And
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
so me, I'm like, again, still, I'm still playing close to the vest. I met with the producer of the show, and when we met, we had a conversation. And after almost a year and a half, the rest is history. And to answer your question, so each week it is true. NewNewRadio.com is an internet radio station. They come on 24, they're on 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm,
They play
mm-hmm,
all types of music, jazz, Latin jazz, Caribbean. They play music that's soothing for the ear and soothing for the body. So, and
mm-hmm.
also too, they have drama radio. So they have a
Okay.
section, they have drama radio, they have producers who do acting, storytelling, poetry. So my specialty when I came on, I wanted to be different because every week I didn't want to speak this, be locked to one particular
Right,
genre.
right, right,
I said,
right.
well, let's talk about something different every week. So the name of the radio show is called Let's Talk About It. And my tagline is give me 30 minutes of your time, and I'll give you 30 minutes of soulful content.
Which you do,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
so,
No,
so,
I've listened in on some of those programs, and it really, really gets involved. The one that comes to mind is I was talking about what was it, extraterrestrial life
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Oh my
UFOs, and
goodness.
then man, it's like that was
Oh my
like a
goodness.
wide subject, and it's like, man, I gotta listen to this like the next week. I gotta see. I know it's like a never-ending story, but it's
Oh
like
my goodness.
I gotta find out how this episode ends on
So,
part
and
two
look,
of two.
every week is something different. As I said, we cover, conspiracy theories, healthcare, mental health,
Mhm.
politics. We cover every area. But one thing, this is quite shocking, right? Because I have a global following, Ed. But my when I did an episode on Bigfoot,
Uh-huh.
that was the highest attended show ever. Bigfoot,
Yeah,
Bigfoot. People still believe in
they
Bigfoot.
do.
I'm talking about people in academia, people in medicine. When I asked them, like, you believe in Bigfoot? They said, yeah, Michael. I still can't believe it. Bigfoot? Ed, is there a Bigfoot out there on your show, Ed? Is there a Bigfoot out there? You tell me.
Well, in today's world, anything is possible. So I guess, I mean, well, I'm closer now to where Bigfoot might be than if we were talking a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago, because I don't know if
yeah,
I know you know, but I don't know if
yeah,
anybody else knows out there.
yeah,
But I'm zooming from the Los Angeles, California area, so
yeah,
it's like I'm taking my Zoom on the road
yeah,
on the fly Zoom
yeah,
interviews. So.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, yeah, Bigfoot, if it does exist, uh, the creature is way to the north of me, where I don't
You
have
know
to
what I'm
worry
saying?
about where
Yeah,
Washington or wherever there. But
yeah.
let's put it this way, I'm closer to Bigfoot, if it is out there, than I've ever been in
Yeah,
my life,
you
than
know
if
what
I
I'm
was on the
saying?
East Coast.
You
So
know what I'm saying?
I'm
That's
looking out
crazy.
my door each way
Crazy.
every time I leave the house in the morning now. But
I'm
hey,
just telling
anything's
you,
possible,
you know. I
UFOs, Bigfoot.
well, I was going to touch on UFOs too because on that episode it was sparked by a neighbor of mine. I call her Mama, and her name is Sharifa C. Abdullah, and her and I started talking, and about conspiracy theories, and the idea came up about UFOs,
Uh-huh.
right? And then when I started doing my research, and you look at, all these declassified documents, and the
Hmm.
U.S. Army says we saw a spacecraft and we don't know what it was, right? Wait a minute, what did you see? But my research also led me to Ed that this just isn't the United States, it's all over the world. Countries as far as Russia and England.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like these other countries have reported UFOs, but I didn't hear about that in the news or in a podcast or anyone talking
Uh,
about
a
that.
lot of times you don't hear about a lot of things on the news that are going out there. So
Yeah,
whether it's just hearsay or rumor, but I mean, a lot of times there's a lot of people that see things going on, but
right, right,
it's
right.
like you never turn on the 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock news at night and hear a
Hmm.
lot about, but which doesn't mean it's not true just because it's not reported on like the evening news or whatever. But no, it makes for fascinating conversation. I mean,
Right,
I know
right.
I was captivated in you know that evening there that you dedicated to the UFO and
Hmm.
it's like that 30 minutes went by so quick. It's like,
I
man, I
know, I
said
know.
we're just scratching the surface here. And then
Yeah,
you said, well, we're going to continue it next week. I says, oh,
right.
good. I says, I got another 30 minutes to get into it next
Yeah,
week to see how um not how it's solved,
right,
but
right.
because it'll probably never be solved. But uh, yeah, just the intrigue of hearing more about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because, again, not saying that I'm a skeptic, but if there are hundreds of cases all over the world that they don't know, when I say they, the government, right? The people that have these radar systems, and you see an object, but it's not an
yeah,
object. It's not even flying at the speed of light, right? And it darts through. It's not a meteor, or it's not a rocket. What is it?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is it? But they can't explain it, right? And that
yeah,
sort of keeps
yeah,
me wondering that
yeah,
is there something out there
yeah.
that we don't know, or maybe we're sort of on a cusp of finding
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
that's out there, and what kind of sort of response is that going to generate,
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
community?
yeah. Yeah, there was just something on the news, what, maybe a couple days ago,
Hmm.
where there was like this bright light that came down from the heavens and went straight down. I forget what state it was. I don't know if it was
Hmm.
Arizona or where it was, but
Hmm.
different people in different spots saw this one light descend from the sky down towards the horizon. So
Right.
it's like they don't know if it was like part of a meteor shower or like a lot of times, like they
Hmm.
say, uh, like a space pebble, but once it hits the atmosphere, it looks
Right.
like it's
Right.
like this giant fiery ball, but it can only
Right.
be maybe about as big as a marble. But once it hits the atmosphere, it's like
It,
all
yeah.
lights up
Disintegrate.
and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why um these episodes and these topics that I talk about, which leads us to the segues into podcasting
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I
But
need
but before you go in the podcast, I want to congratulate you because on May 24, you
uh
celebrated your 1 year anniversary for your radio show. So yeah,
thank you. What happened to the 1 year, right? It seemed like I started this yesterday, right?
I
Do
know
you
it.
feel like
Things
that,
go
right?
really quick. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and
And
then
remember, mhm.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because remember too that, ladies and gentlemen, that my shows are live every Saturday. Live every
Mm-hmm.
Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And every Saturday that there is a different topic,
Yes, I was
right?
just going to say,
So
yes,
I'm committed to bringing my audience, my listeners, information that we all can relate to. You can call into the
yes.
show, be a guest on the show, but I take it seriously like I do everything because I've fell in love with broadcasting now. I fell in
Yeah.
love now with wanting to do a podcast because I need sort of more time to have that moment with my guests or guests
Mm-hmm.
to be
Mm-hmm.
able to really delve into a particular
Yeah.
subject,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. To to really get in depth there, uh yeah, to get in depth, you need more time. So,
Hmm.
like for your podcast, do you envision having it like 1 hour long to extend it from 30 of your like your radio show up like up to 1 hour or 2 hours, or are you still kind of working that out?
Well, logistically, I'm thinking an hour, maybe twice a month to get started to see how that is. Because again, the radio show has set me up for the podcast,
Yes.
right? So it set me up perfectly for that because now, how do you engage the audience? How do you keep an audience, right?
Oh,
And
I don't think you'll have any problem keeping your
uh,
audience. I mean,
uh,
you got you've got a following
uh,
for a radio show, so you take those people and Michael Blizzard says, "I'm going to have a podcast." Oh,
yeah,
they're going to say,
yeah,
"Oh, we got to listen to the podcast. This is going to
right.
be even longer, and there's going to be more interesting topics
Hmm. Right.
and more time uh, discussing those. I don't think you'll have any problem taking the audience from the radio show
Right.
and transitioning to the podcast.
Well, because Ed, podcasting is global,
Oh, it is. It is.
right?
Yes.
So let's park our brakes there for a moment.
That's
This is
right. That's
global.
right. That's
So
right.
now
Yeah,
not, well, everyone has, not everyone, but there's a podcast. There's a podcast for everything, right?
there is. Yeah,
Right.
you name this, the subject, sports or technology or
Right.
medicine or
Right. Right.
right. I mean, the like they say, the sky's the limit, and
Yeah.
and like you were saying, it could be from anywhere. Like uh, since I started this talk show, like it'll be 3 years ago at the end of July, this coming July,
Hmm.
and the farthest that I've had an interview, that Zoom interview, was from Melbourne, Australia.
Wow. Look at
And
that.
if somebody were to tell me that when I started Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
When I started this like almost 3 years ago, I wouldn't have believed I wouldn't have believed it. Wouldn't have
Hmm.
believed it.
Hmm.
And the same with you. It's like your guests are from everywhere,
Yes.
so the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
Whether it's a yeah.
and one of the unique things too, at my studio, Park Road Studios, is that some of my guests I have, they come in live to the studio. And that is very different because again, for me, once I launched the podcast, I have several people who already signed up. They're like, look, Michael, just tell me when the date is, they'll come because that having that live with that person or persons within the studio, there's something that connection that you can't sort of you can't explain. And plus, too, I'll be live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. So
Uh-huh.
therefore, my audience be a part of it. Grab your popcorn and soda pop and come on and enjoy us.
Definitely.
Be a part of
Definitely.
that. And then also too, like, podcasting, just to stay on that for a moment, podcasting could be sort of like a new way of we report news, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. People won't have to say, well, okay, it's 6:30, time for the 6:30 evening news.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
from wherever they are, they could be traveling or anywhere and not necessarily have to rely on like the traditional 6:30 evening news. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the sky's the limit.
And therefore, you can capitalize, monetize, build a brand. I mean, so
Hmm.
broadcasting has set, and the radio show has set me up to be able to start the podcast to do that comfortably, knowing that I got the experience behind me.
Definitely, you got it now.
And,
Oh yeah.
with the experience, because again, with experience comes, um, with fortitude, right?
Uh-huh.
Resiliency, right? You need that experience. And because now I can start looking for, platform, clients, sponsors. And once you get
Hmm.
sponsors to say, hey, we're going to support Ed's podcast, the sky's the limit then, because again, I want to take my message to Australia. I want to take my message to New Zealand. I want to take my message
Hmm.
to Spain. I want to take my message to Qatar. I want to take my message to Ecuador. I want to take my
Oh,
message to Venezuela,
it's
right?
to it's totally doable. It's still
Right?
if you can think it, it'll be a reality.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
I mean
Be-
basically yeah.
because Ed, deep down, we all want the same thing, right? Good neighborhoods, good schools,
Yes.
good. I mean, like we all basically want the same thing, but the goal is how can we get there? And if you
Hmm.
have a platform where
Hmm.
people can come and say, hey, well, I'm going to tune the Ed show. I might be feeling bad, or Ed might be doing something funny this week. Ed might have a special guest on just say we're looking at men's health. Yeah, you want to be a
Hmm.
part of that
Hmm.
because I want to give you information, content, and then
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
stuff that you
Yeah.
can look up for yourself. So
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
I see podcasting for
Oh
me,
yeah. Oh yeah.
right?
Well, like even on my show, you're talking about uh people's health. And so I've had three interviews and they were from different parts of the world. One is from France, and another
Hmm.
two are from Nicaragua,
Hmm.
and they are women bodybuilders. So
Oh,
I consider entertainment to be all encompassing, whether it's, like boxing or bodybuilding, singing, dancing. It's all something that people go out for entertainment, that they
yes, yes,
enjoy.
yes,
And
yes.
uh, one of my guests, woman bodybuilder guests, she actually turned her life around because she was living a life that was totally
Hmm. Hmm.
180 degrees.
Right.
She was into like substance abuse, not eating well,
Hmm.
was into partying all night and this and that. And it's just one time the light bulb just went off and says, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
She cut all of that out, and she's won tournaments. This Laura Zeeve, she's on Instagram,
Hmm.
and she has her own like line of videos, and she recommends like different nutrients and foods and regimens and everything. So yes, health these days is a very, very big area, and an area that more people want to learn about is is the health
Yeah,
area.
because your story, right? Think about that. Here it is. A person, you provide a platform for
Mm-hmm.
your guests
Mm-hmm.
who's turned their life around
Oh yes.
because of bodybuilding, right? Doesn't
Uh-huh.
matter if you're bodybuilding or flying a kite,
It
right?
doesn't matter. No, it
Doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
No,
When you
no.
find that passion within you, right? And
Uh-huh.
then therefore to be able to have a platform to share that with somebody, you never know who else might have been
That's
uh
right. That's
receive
right.
that benefit from your guests. So
That's
kudos to
right.
you, Ed.
That's I do what I can. And I no,
Good.
I thought that it was uh the social platform here. I thought it was a great way to disseminate that information. It's like maybe it doesn't matter, a man or a woman is maybe in the same predicament she was years ago, and
Right, right, right,
maybe something she said triggered something, and it's like, well, geez, I'm going down the same wrong path that she did.
right.
So she got out of it,
Hmm.
so can I,
Yeah,
so can
yeah,
I.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
on a related subject, like having to do with acting, and in particular, well, it goes for like both film and stage.
Hmm.
Like if you're acting, and let's take the stage for instance. Um, the lights are on you, you're performing, and you look out into the audience, and it's like everything's dark because the lights are in your eye. You don't know how many people out there, hopefully a lot,
Right,
but
right, right.
you can't see their faces. And it's like one time it just occurred to me. I says, well, it's there might be something. It doesn't matter what play or whatever, what role you're doing, there might be something that we as actors are saying, whether it's on a stage or in film, that uh, it might be related to something that someone is going through at the time,
Right.
some trouble, maybe family trouble, financial trouble, it doesn't matter what it is. And it's like, whether we're facing the camera or we're facing the audience on stage, we'll never know what word or words we're saying
Yes.
that is going to help someone, say, like
Yes.
that night.
Yes, sir.
We don't know. It doesn't matter what role stage, we say the words over and over, night after night.
Hmm. Hmm.
Film, it's like one shot and that's it. But it's like, w- it occurred to me, we might be helping somebody through
Yes.
something by
Yes.
what we're saying, and we
Yes.
have no idea. And we just, get into characters, say what we
Hmm.
say.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I kind of thought that us, that, as performers, to me, we're kind of emotional doctors, aren't we?
Hmm. Yes, we are.
Kind of
Yes, we are.
repairing,
Yeah.
repairing up here.
Hmm.
And it's like, I says, wow. I says, yeah, and that's another reason that I like this, because it's like, we might be helping someone that will never know who they are, will never meet them.
Right.
It's just a one-shot deal. You come to the play, you see the stage play, you come to the film, you see the film, and then you leave and you go about your daily life. But
But
yeah,
but isn't that the beauty of the arts is, right?
it is. It is. It
That's the
really is.
beauty. And that's just the fundamental that I refuse to let go. Right? Because
Hmm.
for me, again, well, there are some who applaud the crowd, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I can get one
Yes.
person, I'm
Yes.
happy with that.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's just how I was raised by my
Yeah.
parents.
And you know, the best part about it is sometimes, like if you perform something
Hmm.
and it's like the business of acting is like to totally forget about yourself and get into
Hmm.
character and everything.
Hmm.
And if somebody comes up to you and says something like, I really believed you. That was,
Hmm.
real. And
Right,
it's like,
right.
whoa, okay, then
Yeah,
we've done
yeah,
it, right? Then we've done our job, right?
yeah, yeah,
We've done
yeah.
our job, yeah.
And that's the connection with another person, with the person in the audience, right? And the
Oh, definitely.
actual that connection
Definitely.
that you made a connection with someone that they felt that was so real,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so real that you sort of stimulated an emotion to them. Maybe it was a
Yes.
past trauma
Yes.
that they
Yes.
buried, and then they saw you, saw you acting out someone
Hmm.
screaming or someone
Hmm.
who's crying, someone who's crying for mercy and asking for
Yeah. Yeah.
forgiveness,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they don't believe that they're worthy of being forgiven, right?
Yes. No, I
It's
know it. I know it.
beauty. I
Yeah.
love it, man. I love it.
Well, just like in your field, with your your radio show and your future podcast, it's like whatever you talk about in your radio show or whatever you have yet to talk about in your podcast that you're going to create, you will never know who your audience is or how you are helping
Mhm.
them, what words you're saying. Yeah, the same thing being on radio,
Yeah. Same thing,
talking. Yeah.
because this week's topic I'm talking about breaking point.
Okay. Okay.
We've all been at that breaking,
Yeah, we wouldn't be
right?
human, right? We wouldn't be
Right?
human if we didn't get to that, like that fork in the road, right?
Yeah. One more thing. If it's one more thing, right? We've all been there,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's how I center my shows. And that's how I'll be centering the podcast on
Okay.
issues that we all can relate to.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's very good. That's very good. So when you do start your podcast, are you still going to continue on the radio show as well, or?
Well, I probably during the time I think I can still do it because again, the podcast is going to mirror the radio show. And also too, I have so many shows already recorded. I can put some of the shows that I recorded already, put them back on the episode, like just in case if you missed the episode on Bigfoot or if you missed the episode
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
love or
Sure.
the or you missed the episode that I did on financial literacy or human
Great. Great.
literacy.
Great. Yeah.
I actually did an episode on it's called the Citizens Arrest Law. There is
Okay.
a law in the United States, in all states, that you can actually make a citizen arrest on
Oh
somebody
yes. Oh yeah.
who
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
in the process of committing a crime. Now let me just say, now if you can meet somebody 6'8" robbing a grocery store and you 4'9", I don't think you want to say, "Hey, Mister," you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're under arrest. You
Miss,
know what I'm saying?
Mister, you better stop what you're doing, or I'm
Exactly,
going to place
exactly.
a citizen's
Yeah,
arrest on
yeah,
you, right?
yeah,
That's not going
yeah,
to fly,
yeah.
right?
That ain't gonna fly today.
Yeah.
Might have did in 1891, but not
And then,
today.
the other person that's doing the wrongdoing, they're going to say, "Now listen, you're
Yeah,
going to try to
exactly.
tell me what to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me give
Exactly.
that a second
Exactly.
thought." You'd say, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. But I'm just letting the audience know that there's a citizens law that's on
Yes,
the
yeah,
books in
yeah.
every state in the country.
Right, right. But it's a citizen's arrest law only if you're both the same height, right?
Guys,
That's the only time it takes effect, right? If you can see each other eye to
yeah,
eye.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you're like that, it's like
yeah.
no, 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 right?
And then also to add, the law is so vague that you can actually arrest a police officer who is in the process of committing a crime. The
Mm-hmm.
law is so vague,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? It didn't
Oh yeah, well yeah, they're citizens just like everyone else. They just so happen to be in the law enforcement profession, if you want to, coin it that way. But uh, yeah, I mean, regardless, if anybody is in their civilian clothes or in the clothes in the line of their professional work, like a police officer, yeah. Hello, Michael.
Hey, hey, I
Hey,
don't know
we're
what's going
back.
on. I don't know
We're
what's going
we're
on,
back.
man.
We're back for part three. How do you like
Part
that? We're
three,
back for.
part three. That's all right. That's how
That's right.
technology,
No,
man.
everybody out there, I was telling Michael, it's like once I press record on Zoom, I go right until the end of the interview stop. Well, I was telling Michael earlier before we started the part one of this interview of three parts now. I
Yes.
was saying no matter if the audio goes out, if the video goes out, it's like we're still recording.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes.
happened twice so far. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the nothing's off the table. Nothing's off the
Yeah,
table.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah,
we were
yeah.
saying before, technology rudely cut us
Yeah,
off
yeah.
again,
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah,
back to
yeah.
cursive writing and
Yeah, exactly.
English and
Somebody's
all that, right?
yeah, yeah, somebody's hacking
Uh,
into the
yeah.
system that they don't like writing. So we must have struck a nerve there. We must have struck a nerve with somebody,
The technology gods must
Yeah,
be
yeah,
the against English and cursive and everything else
yeah,
today.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
shame on
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah,
technology gods.
yeah,
But
yeah,
before we were rudely interrupted again by
yeah, yeah,
technology.
yeah,
Yeah, we were talking about citizens arrest. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
does it matter what type of clothing people are wearing, whether they're
Right,
ordinary, everyday,
right.
around the
Hmm.
house clothing, formal wear, or
Right,
clothing that they wear in the performing
right,
of their profession, such as a
right,
police officer or whatever,
right, right,
doctor or whatever. But yeah, no, that yeah, if somebody's doing wrong, it would seem that what they are wearing shouldn't have any effect on whether or not uh, those rules should not apply to them, right?
right,
So
right,
yeah,
right, right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just again, I just, when I brought that topic to the show, it's just more of an information that we as a citizens in this country that we do have a right by law, even though it's
Hmm.
an old law, that you can arrest somebody. I'm not saying go out and do that, but I'm just saying that you do have the power to arrest somebody for a
Yeah,
crime.
yeah, yeah.
For a crime.
So
Yeah.
I think that uh, you would get a lot of listeners on a topic devoted to that, like especially in your new podcast
Yeah.
that you want to
Yeah.
start. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that you would have a big listener base uh, for any episode or episodes that you would devote to that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. We've talked about your writing and your future podcast you plan, your radio show, and
Mhm.
when we first got into all of this, we were talking about your writing and your acting. So, are you still like acting in any projects? And if you are, do you have any acting projects in your future that you're planning? I know you've worked a lot with Kenya Cagle there. I know you've
Right.
worked a
That is
lot with
correct.
him, and he's
Right.
gone on to win what film festival
Yes.
awards
Yes.
for the
Yes. Yes.
great work that he's done. And
Yes.
so how about you? What's in your future for acting?
Well, I'm doing a number of readings from a friend of mine. She organizes, it's called The State of Plays by Rachel Ludke. So every month we come together, selected actors, be reading scripts from famous playwrights. And we just finished about 2 weeks ago a play from August Wilson, Fences. So Yeah, so that I do, and also too, sometimes there are opportunities for acting, obviously within the
Hmm.
community. But I just received an email today about their this Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is sort of like the new hub for like doing a lot of acting, like
I've
a lot of
heard
short
that
films.
about
Yeah,
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
yeah,
there
yeah,
is like
yeah, yeah.
filming, like
A lot, right,
yeah, filming
right.
industry there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm intrigued about that as well too. So I don't have anything sort of on schedule other than doing improv, but if there's an opportunity out there for me,
Okay.
definitely I'll jump on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I've got to ask you this, like with the Incarn Theater, now
Mhm.
they're giving live performances now, right? I
That
mean,
is correct.
there's
Yes.
no like virtual anymore.
Not no, other than rehearsals on virtual, but
Oh, okay,
everything is
okay.
pretty much back to live, Broadway, things of that nature. So and again, people want to see this. People who was raised with live theater, live
Oh
productions,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and I'm a big supporter of that as well
yeah.
too. But I'm glad that we had Zoom when we had Zoom, that
Oh,
we can
so am
kept that
I. I
moving.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done if there wasn't Zoom, like an outlet for creatives to keep
Hmm.
creating when everything was like shut down.
Yes,
That
yes,
was
yes. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
can't be thankful enough for Zoom. My gosh,
Yes,
you know.
yeah, yeah, and still we're on Zoom today, 5 years later.
Yeah, right. Well,
Mhm.
that's like they said back then when the pandemic first started that that was like the way of the future, Zoom
Right, right.
and like
Telemedicine,
self-tape
telemedicine,
auditioning, you know.
self-tape auditioning, telemedicine,
Yeah,
right?
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Myself, I've a few times, for a routine doctor checkup,
Hmm.
uh, I've had Zoom
Hmm.
calls with the
Hmm.
doctor, and
Yeah,
it
yeah, and
saved me a trip to the doctor because
yeah.
it's like um, it was. Of course, it would kind of be hard to do a physical over Zoom. I think
Right, right, right.
you could concur or
I can
something.
concur.
But
Yes, sir.
this was like say like for lab results. So it's
Hmm.
like
Right.
you really don't have to go into the office uh, to listen to your doctor tell you something that can be said over Zoom without
Right,
the
right,
need for
right, right.
travel and
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
and that's.
If it's just for, as you indicated, like a follow-up, a
Yeah,
laboratory reading, or something to that nature, where
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
urine collection, blood collection doesn't, you don't
Yes,
need an
yeah, yeah, yeah.
EKG, echocardiogram, or
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
mean, like this is the benefit of technology that we had. And
definitely.
COVID, we know what COVID, what it did, but what it did was open up a door of new
It
ideas and
did.
new
It did.
thinking
It did.
that we can harness this power to still reach out to patients
Yes. Oh, yes.
instead
Yeah.
of you coming 40 miles to the doctor's office, we can fill your
Exactly. Yeah,
script
exactly.
by just
Yes.
coming on and saying, "Hey, I read your lab report. Everything's fine. This is what you need to do. Stay on your medications if you need a script or something, but I want
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
you in
yeah.
3 months for physical examination," or something like that,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just the power of technology is just
Yeah, yeah.
evolving every day in medicine and mental health and
Oh,
psychology as
definitely,
well too.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And of course, I know the pandemic and COVID, it was a really
Mhm.
bad, serious time in the world as a
Mhm.
whole. Like before COVID, like all of my acting experience, I mean,
Mhm.
in my case, was the stage,
Mhm.
community theater, summer stock theater, like
Right.
that. But during COVID, with this Zoom screen that we have, it's like it was for me anyway. It was sort of like a crash course on how to like act on camera,
Yeah.
because like on stage you had to project, to the back of the room. You had to know how to do that, and like your gestures had to be bigger so that
Yeah.
people couple. 100 feet away could see you, but it's like I even took some like online courses, like
Hmm.
workshops,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's like keep everything small, like keep it this wide here,
Right, right,
zoom,
right.
keep it here, and
Yeah,
have all your emotions come through the
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Everything's close. And to me, Zoom during the pandemic, it was a great teacher on how to act on film. I mean,
Yes.
unfortunately, we were all under COVID and everything, but if I don't know if this is right to say, if there was one benefit,
Hmm. Hmm.
it was like on camera,
Right,
acting. So,
right, right. Because again, as you said, that COVID created an opportunity for those who were shut in to be able to see some acting
oh,
or to
definitely,
reach a friend, to contact
definitely.
a friend. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was beneficial as well too.
Yeah,
So
and
again,
and like in our case within Karn, and well, a lot of other creative groups during that time, it was live, right? When we did the
yes,
Incarn, that was
yes,
live. It's
yeah,
like no cut, no
yeah, yeah,
redos, no
yeah,
do-over.
yeah.
It's like whatever gets out there, that is live, and
That is
that's.
correct. That is correct.
And I don't know how you feel about it, but that kind of gives you a buzz too, because it's almost like the feeling of going on stage where it's live.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though we're in
yeah.
the screen and we can't see the audience, and we can only see each other in the cast, like the old Hollywood Squares game show, with the
Right,
squares
right,
all
right,
over.
right.
But it still gave the same buzz.
Yes,
I don't know how you
yes,
felt. It's like
yeah.
you get, either you get the before performance jitters,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
get all, and everything, and it was the same feeling, really. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same feeling, yeah,
I agree 100%
yeah, yeah,
about the same because remember I started really on Zoom then the stage. I did it sort of reverse. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
because I came
yeah,
in late. I came in late, like I wasn't trained as an actor,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. But that was a good try. I mean, for you and other people like you that were just getting
Yes,
into acting, that was a great way to break into it. Great
yes,
way to break
absolutely,
into it. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because, whether you're here or if you're on stage, you still got to learn your lines. You still got to
Right,
be off
right,
book.
right.
You still have to learn how to relate to the other actor, even though
Yes.
you only see him two-dimensionally on the screen here.
Yeah.
It's still the same.
Right,
You're
right,
still
right,
using
right,
like the
right.
same
Yes,
toolbox,
that is correct.
you know,
That is correct. That is correct.
if you want
Yeah.
to, yeah, yeah. But
Hmm.
so besides everything that we've talked about, and
Hmm.
on top of everything that we've talked about, you're also in the medical
Hmm.
field,
Hmm.
and
Yes, yes,
you're
yes.
in
Yeah,
you're in the
yeah,
doctor track. So
yeah.
uh 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 I guess I can call you Dr. Blizzard.
Oh, let's say that for 2027, right?
Okay, okay,
2027 when I graduate. But
okay, okay,
no, no, look, I got into medicine at a very young age
okay. I
because
was wondering what was the spark that wanted you to go into the medical field.
Because I always liked biology and was
Okay,
fascinated with how the cells work in the body,
okay,
the
okay,
neurons in the brain, right? So, but now I always knew that there was a mind-body connection, but
okay.
I didn't know how to connect the dots at that time, nor
Uh-huh,
did I have
uh-huh.
the tools to prove my hypothesis. So I spent, a lot of my years helping promote clinical research, right,
Okay.
within a urology practice. And this is, research, was something that the patients could have an option. Like, for an example, in clinical research, some of the medications, well, most of them, depending, are
Uh-huh.
experimental. We don't know how effective a particular medication can be, but let me remind your audience that every medication that your audience may take or may not take has went through a clinical trial.
Oh
We've
yeah.
had everything has to go through a trial with
Uh-huh.
human volunteers to see if the medication is safe and effective,
Uh-huh.
right? Now, there's going to be some drawbacks, some side effects that comes with the medication. It may affect certain people, it may not affect certain
Yeah.
people, but
Yeah.
I was always inquisitive about medication, drug development, and also um, with how the body processes both mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I'm in my third year of my doctoral program in clinical psychology with a healthcare focus, right?
Okay.
And so clinical psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on assessment, diagnosis, treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and prevention of mental disorders and psychological stress.
Mm-hmm.
So my specialty will be in psychosocial oncology. And so for psychosocial oncology is a specialized field that focuses on the psychological, behavioral,
Okay. Okay.
emotional, and social
Okay.
aspects
Okay.
of cancer patients and their
Okay.
families, right?
Sort of
So
like the mind helping the body to heal, like the
because you need
mindset.
that. Because if I have a patient that's not compliant with their treatment regimen, right, I need to see what's going on in their head,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because if they feel that this medication is going to work for me, well, how can the body get the medication and treatment that's needed if the person doesn't feel like the medication is effective? Or
Right. Right.
maybe the person might feel a distrust with the healthcare provider, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are a multitude of areas that I look at when I'm looking at a patient holistically, especially
Uh-huh.
diagnosed with cancer, right?
So in a lot of those medical trials with medication, uh, whatever type of medication that is, do they still have like placebo trials
Yes,
to
that is the gold standard. But
okay,
because again, you need something typically, which I prefer is that you can have experimental X, but you can also have a name brand, such as like they did with just say Excedrin. They had sort of a Motrin versus Excedrin or Anacin
okay,
versus
yeah,
Excedrin, right? So you
yeah,
need which one to
yeah,
see one is better. But sometimes when you're looking for a treatment, you may have a placebo. And so therefore, out of 100 patients, 50 of the patients got a placebo, 50 of the patients got the experimental medication. And based upon their questionnaires, their blood work, that you see if this medication was
uh-huh,
effective
uh-huh.
or not. And some patients, what we have called placebo effect, saying that, Doc, I got better. I feel so much better. But when you look at it, they got the placebo. So there's a placebo effect as well, too. But
Okay,
I don't sort
okay,
of want to go, sort of bore your audience with all the nuances. But
yeah,
I'm a supporter of clinical trials. Clinical
yeah.
trials is very important, very
Yeah.
important.
So then you have a good base to start from, like say like a base of zero where there's like say like zero medication in it and the
Hmm.
patient feels good about it because they think they know
Psychological.
what's yeah, right. It's
Right, right,
all in their head,
right,
right? Yeah.
right, right,
Yeah, yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of mystery and beauty that I love
Okay.
about
Okay.
medicine and
Okay.
psychology and
Yeah.
neurology
Yeah.
and oncology. So yeah, that's just
Okay.
my passion
Okay.
always been as a kid.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to mention related to this question here, like on your Facebook page. So let me just read this so I
Mhm.
get it right here. It says that you are the Director of Research Operations at Urology Center Research Institute. Are you still in that capacity?
Well, I'm not in that capacity anymore, but I was the director, also office administrator for the research department at that
Okay.
particular time. Because, see, again, my passion and love for research, right, to be able to provide more opportunities for people versus taking standard medication that may or may not have any effect. Because if you keep taking the medication, year after year after year, it
Hmm.
may not be effective anymore. So there are clinical trials that constantly
Okay.
have a medication that may be just as or even more effective than
Okay.
the medication
Okay.
you're taking. So
Yeah.
research has always been a soft spot of mine.
Hmm. Hmm.
And not just a director, once I graduate, I want to be able to, do my own studies, right? Look at certain things
Right.
that affect
Right.
people. So once I have my licensure, then I'll be able to do my own studies and, recruit people, especially more
Okay.
minorities to clinical research,
Okay.
more
Yeah.
women, right? More Hispanics, just more have a true representation of the population when you're looking at research. Because again,
Yeah.
one medicine may not work for everybody else because you got to
Mm-hmm.
look at the
Mm-hmm.
genetics, you got to
Mm-hmm.
look at the biology of a person. Medication X may not be effective for this particular population based upon their genetics, how they are made, their
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
chemistry, their diet. So,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
is still an ongoing area, very fascinating.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is just a part of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, could we assume that, say, after a while, that a patient takes a medication, whatever it might be, for an extended period of time, after a while, do they build up, say, an immunity to it where it doesn't work for them anymore, or doesn't work as well as it did when they first started the medication?
Let's say it may not work as well because if you've taken medication X for just say for a headache, 10 milligrams, but you have to understand either if you do oral, by the time your gastrointestinal tract breaks it down, that 10 milligram may turn to 4 before it hits your bloodstream. Then you have the oral, I mean you have sublingual, then you can put it up on your tongue, right? That gets
Right,
to your
right,
bloodstream.
right.
Then you have you can do transdermal, you can have an injection. But your point is that if you take a medication, I believe for an extended period of time, it may not be effective, a year or a year and a half down the line. And that's why some people might need a higher dose
Yeah, yeah,
to get the
yeah,
same benefit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Michael, just on this subject alone, of this question about your medical field, I mean, uh, I could have like a whole hour program just about that,
Yeah,
a whole
yeah,
hour
yeah,
program about each
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
questions that I asked you. But um, I've really got to thank you for being on my show today. I've so much look forward to this. As Michael and I were talking before we started the interview, that uh, it's been so long since we've seen each other virtually. We've never
Right, right,
met
right.
in person. You're one of my guests that I've never met in person, but I still feel that we have a connection, even though we've got this
Right, right,
glass
right, right.
screen or whatever you want to call it in front of
Right,
us.
right,
So,
right, right, right.
um, yeah, I can't thank you enough for graciously accepting the invitation to be on my show, and
You're welcome.
it's just been an absolute pleasure spending time with you and talking with you today.
Likewise, my friend, and to your audience, thank you for tuning in tonight. I do appreciate it. I hope you got something from this interview, but
Oh, I believe that we
I
got a
mean,
lot from these. Oh,
because
yes, yeah,
again,
yeah.
don't let nobody tell you that you're locked in to do one thing, ladies and gentlemen. You can be good at multiple things.
Yes, yes. And you're evidence of it. You're evidence
Yeah,
of it
yes,
right
yes,
there.
sir, yes,
My
sir, yes,
gosh.
sir.
So yeah. So yes, everyone, we've been talking to Michael Blizzard, talking about being able to do many things,
Hmm.
actor, writer, voiceover
Hmm.
artist,
Yeah, yeah.
writes his own music, which
Yeah.
will appear within this interview.
That's
Um, when I upload it to my YouTube channel next week, which all of you are watching right now,
right, right,
because I've
right.
uploaded already, in the future.
Right.
So yeah, a musician,
Oh, man.
voiceover actor, radio personality, soon to be worldwide podcast personality, with
Oh,
guests from
goodness.
absolutely every everywhere in the world. And I hope that I'll be one of those future podcast guests of yours.
You're my brother. You're my brother. You know that. You know that. You know that, man. Anything for you, Eddie. Anything for you.
Anything for you too.
You know
Even like I says, even though we never met, we're both brothers here. Just like if we met in person, there's just some connection there. It's
And
like you
so,
can't, right?
yeah, yeah. So when you're in the tri-state area, please let me know. Hit me up so
Oh,
we can go.
definitely,
We
yeah,
can meet,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
We can meet,
definitely, yeah,
man. We
yeah,
can meet. We
yeah.
gotta
We've
work this
well,
thing.
we've got to meet. We've got to let the actual physical paths of our crossing happen actually instead of virtually like this. So
Right,
yeah.
right, right. Well,
So
thank you.
so
Thank you so much, man.
yeah,
Thank you, Ed.
yeah,
And to the
yeah.
audience, thank you.
And yeah, no, I know that they've enjoyed the time that you've spent together with all of us here, and uh, yeah, thank you once again, and
Thank you.
everyone. My name is Edward S. Redcar, the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat, and today we've been spending time with my good friend and acting colleague Michael Blizzard, and yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure to have him on my show. So until next time, have a good day, have a good week, and enjoy your life, enjoy the journey, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you, everyone.